Welcome into the Swank Tank, episode 7 of the 2025 NFL season, and it is week 2. Week 2 has already arrived. It is Thursday morning, September 11th, 2025. Thank you so much for being here, ladies and gentlemen. As always, the usual stuff in this intro. I'm going to plug the socials. Please go follow me on TikTok, Instagram. Go subscribe on YouTube. Go follow on Spotify. Leave a comment. Leave a review if you would like. Anything is appreciated on the socials in terms of subscribing, all of that good stuff, as always and as usual. So appreciate you being here. This is the Swank Tank. This is the NFL only Swank Tank. We do analysis, bets, predictions, fantasy, everything and anything NFL is here at the Swank Tank. It's your one-stop shop for the NFL. Welcome into the show. Welcome into the Swank Tank. What a week 1 we had in the books. This episode, we're breaking down Bears Vikings. What a comeback win for the Minnesota Vikings and J.J. McCarthy. We also got week 2 predictions. Along with those predictions, we got analysis of every game. Every single game of week 2, I'm giving you my winner, my prediction, quick little analysis of each game. Along with that, we got some fantasy updates, some injury updates, some trade updates going into week 2 of the NFL season. All of that and more on this episode of the Swank Tank. Again, appreciate you being here. Really more than you know. Slowly but surely growing the show. And it's been an exciting time. It's been a really fun time continuing to grow within the show and outside the show itself. So I'm fired up, as you can tell by like 5 mumbles I've already had already. I'm excited for this week 2 episode. It's a great one. And let's get to it. Welcome to week 2 of the NFL season. All right, we're kicking off this show like I previewed, going over to the Windy City, the Chicago Bears season opener. Caleb Williams, year 2. Ben Johnson as the head coach. DeAndre Swift comes back. Rome Odunze, year 2. DJ Moore, the vet. Can he continue to keep up that production? Caleb taking those steps in year 2. Jalen Johnson over there at CB. You got other big defensive pieces. The Bears are here, at least they thought they were, going into week 1, ready to roll. And through 3 quarters, they really were. Too bad you got to play 4 quarters of a football game. It's not over till the fat lady sings. We all know that. Everybody listening and watching to this show, YouTube, Spotify, whatever it may be, knows you got to play 4 complete quarters, usually, to win in the NFL. In the NFL, a win is a win. This is not college football. There are no rankings. There are pure stats in terms of wins and losses. Based off those, you make the playoffs or you don't. It's a numbers game. In the NFL, a win is a win. You take whatever win you can get. And the Minnesota Vikings through 3 quarters looked like they were going to take an absolute L. They were playing like, I'll refrain from bad wordage here. They were playing like doo-doo. Playing like garbage. And they flipped the switch in the 4th quarter after a missed field goal. So let's dive into it. Let's talk some stat lines. Let's talk some narratives. And we'll get this going here. Vikings go into Chicago on Monday Night Football and defeat the Chicago Bears 27-24. J.J. McCarthy in his first ever NFL game. Last year was out all season long with a big injury. Returns this season. Year 2, theoretically, under Kevin O'Connell. First game started, first game played in the regular season for J.J. Won a natty at Michigan. Has only lost like a handful of career games he started through high school and college. He's a certified winner. And when he was drafted, I was a big-time hater of the pick. I'm not saying he sold me on one game. All I know is that in that 4th quarter, he played very well. Very, very well. Smart with the football in the 4th quarter. Made quick decisions and had good instincts is really what I took away from that 4th quarter. McCarthy, he goes only 13 completions, 13 of 20, 143 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown as well, so 3 total, and 1 interception. All 3 of those touchdowns came in the 4th quarter, and that pick was a pick 6 to the crib in the 3rd, going the other way. Caleb Williams now, other side of the ball. Year 2 with Ben Johnson, number 1 overall pick. Can Caleb take that step forward with Ben Johnson now at the helm. The offensive guru coming over from Detroit helped elevate Goff's game. Had the 1-2 punch with Gibbs in Montgomery. Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta. The Lions offense under Ben Johnson was electric, it was explosive, and it was consistent. 3 things that are absolutely key to a successful football team on the offensive side of the ball. That's what you're looking for in Chicago. Chicago fans were amped up. I heard that stadium was loud. Loud on Monday night, Soldier Field. When are they getting that new stadium, by the way? They got to pick the location. Soldier Field was amped up, ready to go, in-division rival, beautiful Chicago Windy City night, Monday Night Football, only to take the loss in an excruciating fashion. Except it's not that excruciating for Bears fans because they've had it happen time and time and time again. It's kind of typical-ish for them. Again, Ben Johnson's first game, you didn't think that was going to be the typical vibe. It happened again. Caleb goes 21 of 35, 210 yards, 1 touchdown through the air, 1 touchdown on the ground, 2 total tutties. To me, he played well. We're going to get to my deeper personal thoughts on Caleb's performance here in a sec. Jordan Mason, 15 carries compared to Aaron Jones' 8 carries. Something to note. Almost like a Charbonnet, Kenneth Walker situation. Aaron Jones is, in my mind, the better player and a better starter. But in this offense, it could be a Jordan Mason offense. Maybe fits the mold dynamic of Kevin O'Connell a little bit more. Keep an eye on that. Over these next few games, if the volume is leaning way more Mason, it's a big deal, especially for fantasy purposes. The Bears dominated this game for 3 quarters. They led 17-6 at the start of the 4th, put together a really long drive. It was a bad holding call there in the fourth at the start of the 4th quarter on Darnell Wright, and it cut their drive short. They go for the field goal. Santos misses it. That's when the avalanche started to happen. Again, they led 17-6. Go and do that drive. Bad Darnell Wright holding call. Missed a field goal. It's 17-6. You're like, whatever. The door's open it's slightly ajar, this much open for a rookie, theoretically, rookie quarterback and J.J. McCarthy to go and try to win this game, given 11 minutes or whatever was left on the clock. I didn't think he was going to do it. Nobody I really thought was going to do it. Thought he would do it. And they did it. After the missed Santos field goal in the 4th, Vikings scored 3 straight touchdowns. Not 1, not 2, 3. All 3 accounted for by Mr. J.J. McCarthy himself. I actually thought, so my sense around NFL media and around my good boy Burns and other people relatively involved with the game, covered the game, whatever, thought Caleb didn't play very well. That's the vibe I'm getting. I watched this whole game, and I thought Caleb played pretty well. There were some throws that weren't great, maybe some decisions that weren't great. I think we should be giving Caleb Williams a little bit more grace here. I saw a stat earlier. He's got, I believe it's 12 touchdowns to 1 pick in 12 games, and they're 1-11 in those 12 games. There wasn't... that's hard to say. Watching this game fully, I thought Caleb played well enough for the Bears to win. And the numbers don't lie. 2 total touchdowns, 210 yards, 21 of 35 isn't great. I thought he played better than people were giving him credit for from what I saw on social media. And the big question has been, even though it's week 1, year 2 for Caleb Williams, the question was, is he the guy? And I think that's really kind of premature to be asking. Yes, he's the number 1 overall pick. Yes, there's expectations for Caleb Williams. He is the guy. You just got to give it some time. I don't like the doubters coming here in week 1 of year 2 for Caleb Williams, bringing up that question, can Caleb be the guy? Yeah, last year it was a completely different system. Eberflus was the head coach. It was absolute madness. He's coming in as a rookie. The offense is not established. There's 1,000 excuses. This year he's got less excuses, but he's got a new head coach still. He's got a new system to figure out. It's year 2, week 1 for Caleb Williams. I personally say let's pump the brakes. I think he's still going to be the guy. And I think he played fine. It wasn't like a complete worrisome game. in terms of Caleb Williams' production and his gameplay. So I think Caleb played fine. I think he played well enough to get the win. Too bad we figured out J.J. McCarthy has that dog in him. He's got that dog in him, that Michigan blood, the Harbaugh blood running through him, the mindset of a champion. And, I mean, there's not a lot I can really say except he went out there in the fourth quarter and looked like a completely different human being than the first three quarters. He looked timid, hesitant, slow through his progressions, kind of stood there in the pocket through three quarters, and the flip was switched. I always flip that. The switch was flipped. I always do that. Always do that. Welcome to the Swank Tank. He looked like just a different human being out there. And you go down there and you miss a field goal. This is what happens in the NFL. When you give quality teams opportunities to come back in games, they usually take them. And J.J. McCarthy did that. Kevin O'Connell did that. The Vikings defense applied pressure a lot in that fourth quarter. They did that. They stepped up. Seeing McCarthy ball out like he did in the fourth was really awesome to see. He kind of got some swagger to him, which I thought was really cool to see. We'll see if he can carry that into next week in a tough game. I believe there's Sunday Night Football, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, let's just double check real quick. They are, yes, at home against Falcons. Let's see if he can carry that swagger with him. Overall, great comeback win for the Vikings. If I'm a Bears fan, pump the brakes. Caleb's the guy. Give it some time. You're going to be okay. Great win for the Minnesota Vikings. On the road, prime time. J.J. McCarthy now, he has not set a standard yet. It's too early. But people know now what he can do given when he's at his best abilities, when he is playing well. They see his potential. So, great win on the road. Did not expect it. Also, our under did not hit, and it looked so good. Even midway through the fourth, it still looked good. And so McCarthy decided, you know what? I'm going to play like a champion. And great win. Great win for the Minnesota Vikings. Bears fall to 0-1. Vikings go to 1-0. Big game on Sunday Night Football for them. Bears tough game against the Lions coming up here in week 2. That was our Bears versus Vikings recap on Monday Night Football. Got a great Thursday Night Football game coming up here in Green Bay versus the Commanders. Going to dive into that game and the other week 2 games here in just a few minutes. But I want to jump straight into some fantasy topics and some injuries that happened this past week. Leading it off, George Kittle. It seems like every year, if it's not him on the Niners, it's some big player on the Niners. Kittle placed on IR. It means he's out at least 4 weeks due to the hamstring injury he sustained against the Seattle Seahawks. Big blow. Big blow here for the 49ers. Not only is Kittle a top 3 tight end, you still got Ayuk out. Kittle was supposed to be the main guy getting targets, acting like the wide receiver 1 apparently, outside of maybe Ricky Pearsall, who had a great week 1. I'm not necessarily too worried about the Niners, but I'm a little worried about the Niners because Christian McCaffrey's that whole offense now. Kittle out 4 weeks, at least. After that, Juwan Jennings next on the list. He got dinged up in Sunday's game against Seattle. He could play week 2. Again, it's a could play, shoulder injury. Did not practice on Wednesday, I believe. We'll see if he suits up. He's a dynamic player. He got a raise this year. The 49ers need him to suit up. We'll see if he does. Deron Bland, kind of news to me. Didn't really see this happen. It came out last night, Wednesday night. Out multiple weeks due to a foot injury. Missed 10 games due to a foot injury last season. Don't worry, though. I believe they're different feet. I believe this one's the right foot. Last year was the left foot. Deron Bland, though, just got that big contract extension, I believe, last week, if not 2 weeks ago. Big piece of that Dallas defense for the secondary especially. Out at least multiple weeks. Big injury news coming out of Dallas there. Tank Bigsby. A week 1 trade? Tank Bigsby, the former Jacksonville Jaguar, traded to Philly for a 2026 fifth rounder and a 2025 sixth rounder. That is correct. A 2026. I cannot believe next year's 2026. That is mind-blowing. I can't believe my team hasn't made an AFC championship yet. And it's about to be 2026. 2026 fifth and sixth round picks for Tank Bigsby. Had a solid year last year. I believe around 600-700 yards and 7 touchdowns. I think it was, for the Jacksonville Jags. Is it Tootin season? It might just be 2025 fourth-round pick from Virginia Tech. Look for him now to get some more volume behind Travis Etienne, who got a lot of work in week 1. Broke off for a 71-yard run. You got the Liam Cohen offense. The Jags look good week 1. They look good. Etienne seemingly more involved in that offense. You wanted that last year, and you didn't get it under Doug Peterson. You're getting it this year so far, week 1, so far, with Liam Cohen's new offense, and it looked good. But Tootin now, unless it's Tutton, I believe it's Tootin, now right behind, and is going to be in a role for more volume here behind Etienne. Tank Bigsby to the Philadelphia Eagles. Not like the biggest move ever, but still, you rarely see a week 1 trade. Sticking here at the 49ers, Brock Purdy. I know we just went from the Jags to the 49ers, but we've already had 2 49ers players on this list. Brock Purdy doesn't seem like he's going to play on Sunday against the New Orleans Saints. You could be saying, it's the Saints, whatever. I may have a bold prediction for that game, especially because Purdy is not probably going to play. George Kittle is definitely out. Juwan Jennings is a maybe. Dare I say, the New Orleans Saints, the Spencer Rattler Saints. Dare I say they win? You're going to have to wait and see. Let's wait and see. Give me a few minutes, and we're going to get to that game and the rest of the games. Man, what a win that would be, though. Kellen Moore's first win in the Dome. New Orleans, 1-1, 500. Maybe so. Maybe so. Brock Purdy's not going to play in this game. From my understanding, big worrisome moment there. Because I believe Mac Jones is the backup. No bueno. No bueno. So we'll see if Purdy can give it a go. I don't think he will. Again, Kittle's out. Jennings is a maybe. The Niners are already falling apart. Last one here. Brock Bowers left last week's game against New England due to a leg injury. He said after the game he was okay. They have a long week this week, which is good for Bowers to heal. They have a Monday Night Football game starting after the Texans game against the Chargers. Very big division matchup there. Chargers, back-to-back division games going to the Chiefs and the Raiders. Brock Bowers needs to play in this game if the Raiders want to win, in my personal opinion. I believe he's relatively healthy. I think he will play. I think he will. Given the extra day of rest, I think in a limited or at least somewhat limited capacity, he's going to play, which will be good for the Raiders. That's going to be a sneaky, very good game. Death Star, Vegas, Monday Night Football, exciting game. Brock Bowers, we'll see if he suits up. I expect him to. Those are the big injury news for fantasy purposes, some trades going on. Let's see if Bowers suits up. The rest of the guys, obviously, Bigsby just got traded. Bland's out multiple weeks. Kittle's out multiple weeks. Juwan Jennings is a maybe. Probably a few more guys on that list, but those are the big names. We'll see if Bowers plays. But that's your little injury update, your little fantasy update. And now here we go, straight into week 2, analysis and predictions. Every single game coming up right now here on the Swank Tank. All right, it's time to get after week 2, and we're diving straight into it. Last week, we went 10-6 on just straight up predictions. Good start to the year. I will take that. 10-6 record going into week 2. Again, on this show, I take accountability. This is an accountability show. If I went 0-16, I would have told you I went 0-16. I'm keeping track of it the whole season. When we get to my bets, I went 0-6. Again, accountability. Welcome to the Swank Tank. This is where we take accountability. This is where I make my own picks, and I make my own scripts. And if I'm wrong, sometimes I'm wrong. I'm willing to own it. But we're 10-6 on straight up picks to start the year. Just winners of every game. 10-6, we will take that. Going into week 2, 10-6. Love it. The 1-0 Washington Commanders traveling to the only Lambeau Field to take on the 1-0 Green Bay Packers. I'm just going to straight up say my winner here, I've got Green Bay. I have Green Bay in a very close game. I think Green Bay's defensive line is too strong. Looking on both sides of the ball, I think Green Bay is more balanced. And I mentioned last week, I thought the Commanders would get off to a little bit of a slow start. And while that's not fully untrue. They didn't start necessarily slow. They scored 21 against the Giants, which is fine. It's solid. Didn't have the big time plays to pop down the field that you saw. Again, this is only week 1, but it's all we got to go off of. Last year, you saw explosive plays down the field. You didn't see a ton of that against the Giants. And there's something about this Commanders team I'm still unfulfilled with from last week. Green Bay, on the other hand, absolutely manhandled Detroit. Jordan Love played a phenomenal football game. Jacobs played well. The defense looked great. There's a lot to love about the Green Bay Packers. Thursday Night Football, primetime night game at Lambeau. Such a hard place to play. I think this is a close game, but looking at both rosters, Green Bay has a better offense and Green Bay has a better defense, in my opinion. That is my opinion. I think most would agree. Some may agree that the Commanders' offense is slightly better. They're pretty close, but the Packers' defense to me is the big difference maker here, especially that defensive front. And I know Commanders have Tunsil now, right? And they got other pieces on the offensive line that are solid. And my gosh, quality players here. Sorry, I'm yawning over here. And our quality players. The Green Bay defensive line, to me, is what's going to make the difference in this game. Give me Green Bay Thursday Night Football primetime to get it done in a really close game. Let's go on to the Sunday slate now. The 1-0 Jags traveling to the 1-0, barely, Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals home opener there in Cincinnati. Good, solid AFC game here. And I think this game stays close. But at some point, that Bengals offense has got to click. Last week, we talked a lot about this in our episode on Monday morning, or Monday afternoon, excuse me. The Bengals offense in the second half was atrocious. 7 yards of total offense. Joe Burrow, I believe, only threw for like 150 yards. It was so ugly. It was terrible. Terrible. I think in this game, the offense has to click at some point, and I think it does in the fourth quarter or in the second half. I think halftime it's going to be close again, just like it was with the Browns. The Jags looked really solid week 1. They can hang. In the fourth quarter, I think that's when the Bengals offense wakes up and says, I'm Joe Burrow. I was almost the MVP last season. I'm Jamar Chase. I led the league in tutties last season, and I believe yards. He did. He definitely did. I'm the Bengals offense. I'm a top 3 offense, and if I may not be 3, I may not be 2, I might be 1. I think that offense wakes up, especially late in the game. They make a big time play on offense late in the game, and they get it done. So give me the Bengals here in a close one. Home field advantage is big here in two teams that are relatively competitive with each other, I think. Bengals find their offensive stride in the fourth. That's what I've got here. Again, the Jags looked good last week. Defensively, they surprised me in looking as well as they did. Is that more Panthers struggling on offense? Is that more Jags actually being better than I thought on defense? Could be a mixture of both. I think this game remains close until the Bengals pull away in the fourth, given explosive plays on offense, and that offense starts to click. So give me the Bengals moving to 2-0 in week 2. Here we go. Dallas at home. I'm just going to lead every Dallas game off now with just a here we go. So once you hear that, I think you can just assume I'm about to start talking about the Cowboys. Here we go. Dallas, home opener against the Giants. Giants going into Dallas. Do you know how many games the Cowboys have won straight against the New York Giants? Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, and not 7. They've won 8 straight games against the New York Giants. That dates back to 2020, ladies and gentlemen. 8 straight games. It's simple as that. I don't have a ton to break down here. Cowboys played very well last week, even though they lost. Dak looked well, played well, looked good. CeeDee Lamb, those few drops, or else they could have taken down the reigning Super Bowl champs potentially. At home, 8 straight against the Giants. Giants don't even know what to do on at quarterback. No identity whatsoever on offense. To me, this is an easy pick. It's Dallas. Don't overthink this one. The Cowboys are winning this game. They're winning this game. What I want to see here, big thing for me, I want to see George Pickens get a little bit more volume. Not only from a fantasy perspective, but from just solidifying that offensive group. You saw Javonte Williams play well week 1. You saw CeeDee Lamb, overall, relatively speaking, play well week 1. I want to see Pickens get a little bit more involved in this offense. I think given the great matchup against the Giants, that can be exposed. And I think you're going to see some more Pickens than you saw in week 1. That's what I'm looking for here. I want him to find a little stride in this game. It would make me more confident in the Cowboys offense as a whole, as it's more complete. Let me see a little bit more Pickens. I think Tracy maybe finds some pay dirt here. I don't know why. It's just kind of a feeling, a gut feeling. And the Giants, maybe first, second quarter, or keep it within range. The Cowboys, to me, here are the clear pick. Don't overthink this one. Give me Dallas. They've won 8 straight. Give me them to go and win 9 straight against the New York Giants. Moving on. NFC, sticking with it here. 0-1 Bears traveling to the 0-1 Lions. Good game. Narrative game. Ben Johnson, Dan Campbell, reuniting here in this game. They both know each other probably very well. Dan definitely knows what Ben Johnson brings to the table. Vice versa. Ben Johnson knows, being in Dan Campbell's system, what he's all about. Caleb Williams, Jared Goff, Lions home opener. This is going to be going. This is probably one of the best noon games of the entire slate. These coaches know each other so damn well. Dogfight. I think it's going to be an absolute dogfight. And I think Bears fans are a little concerned, given that the Lions got spanked around a bit last week, that they're looking for vengeance. They're out for blood. I get that. On the flip side, Lions fans should be a little concerned that the Bears didn't close the door on the Vikings. They're looking for some revenge, some payback, some blood too. This is an absolute dogfight here. Overall, Lions have the better team on both sides. I'm playing it like I see the Packers game. The Packers against the Commanders are the better team on both sides of the ball, in my opinion. The Lions are the better team on both sides of the ball here as well. At home, I think Amon-Ra gets involved, especially if Jalen Johnson's out again. Not sure if he's going to play or not. I think he probably will. If he is out, I like the Lions here for sure. Even if he's in, I'm still going to take the Lions, but I think it's closer. Give me this to be a dogfight. NFC North battle. The most competitive division in football. This is going to be close. It's going to be close. And I think the Bears play well, and they give themselves a chance to win. I think the Lions win this game, though. Give me the Lions to go 1-1, start the year. Bears fall to 0-2. Moving on here in this noon slate. The 1-0 Rams with the cloned Matthew Stafford at the helm. Traveling to the Tennessee Titans, taking on the 0-1 Titans. Give me the Rams here. I'm not going to overthink this again. Give me the Rams here. Similar fashion to the Cowboys game. Don't overthink this. It's Rams. They're too experienced. You look at Brian Callahan. You look at Cam Ward. That team lacks experience, right? Especially against big-time teams and teams that have a lot of experience. Usually the more experienced teams, culture, and coach win these type of games. Rams are too experienced. That's what they're going to get the dub here. Better team on both sides of the ball, yet again, comparative to the Lions and the Packers in my mind. Don't think this one's too close. Rams defense is very, very good. It held the Texans offense to 9 points. Jared Verse could be a potential defensive player of the year. The Rams defense looked very good. And the Broncos had their way with rookie Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans offense. They had 7 first downs last week, ladies and gentlemen. The Tennessee Titans had 7 first downs last week against the Denver Broncos. The Rams defense isn't too far off from that Denver defense. Rams defense has a top 10 defense. They're going to make some noise here in Tennessee. It's going to be very, very hard for Cam Ward to play well in this game. Titans offense struggled immensely. Sean McVay factor. He knows what the hell he's doing. I think he's going to dial up some big-time plays. Give me the Rams here. Don't overthink it. Give me the Rams to move to 2-0. Titans fall to 0-2. Keeping it rolling. The 0-1 New England Patriots traveling to the 0-1. Are they only 0-1? It felt like that one loss was like 10 losses for the Miami Dolphins. Regardless, they're 0-1. The 0-1 Miami Dolphins, their home opener. I'm going Patriots here off the rip. I have no clue why Miami is favored in this game. I get it. They're at home. That gives them the 3.5 point advantage, however you want to look at it. What in the world did you see from the Miami Dolphins last week that would give you confidence, enough confidence to say they were going to win this week against New England? New England is a competent team. If this was, the Titans going in there or the Saints going in there or the Browns going in there, it's a different story. The Patriots are a competent team this year, still needing to put the new pieces together. Give me New England. I have no clue why Miami's favored here. I get it. It's because they're at home. Outside of that, it makes no sense to me. AFC East battle in week 2. Sloppy game is my prediction here. A mess. Disaster. Give me turnovers all over. Give me just sloppy. All over the field. Pause. I think this is going to be just a really sloppy game in general, that the Pats win. Vrabel's going to be able to get this done. McDaniel's already on the hot seat. Tua wants out of there, it seems. Give me Drake May and the New England Patriots get their first win of the season. I think Drake May's going to have a big game. You saw last week Daniel Jones was near perfect against Miami. Drake May is a better passer than Daniel Jones. Drake May is a better football player than Daniel Jones. I like the New England Patriots here. I like the Patriots and I like the Rams, but with that big offensive days. Give me New England. Give me New England to get their first win of the season. Nothing stood out to me from the Miami Dolphins outside of the fact that they looked terrible from week 1. Give me New England here. Now we move into a NFC battle. The 1-0 49ers traveling to the 0-1 Saints. Man. Last week I had the Giants going into Washington and winning. And it was a big mistake. And ladies and gentlemen, I have learned my lesson. And my lesson is that go big or go home. I'm taking the damn New Orleans Saints to defeat and upset the San Francisco 49ers here in New Orleans. Give me the Saints here to win. They stuck around last week against the Cardinals. Again, that team seemingly can never close the door. 49ers, their injuries really worry me. Mac Jones is going to be the starting quarterback. No George Kittle. Juwan Jennings is dinged up. McCaffrey is going to touch the ball 35 times minimum in this game. He got 31 touches last week. Give me 35 on McCaffrey. Pick him. Obviously, you've got him starting in fantasy. If you play FanDuel, pick him. If you've got an over-under on touches for him, take it. The volume for Christian McCaffrey this game is going to be nuts. I think the Saints get it done. This is my big upset of the week. Big upset of the week for the Swank Tank week 2. The New Orleans Saints at home get it done against the San Francisco injury-plagued 49ers. I think they barely get it done. Kellen Moore gets his first win with the New Orleans Saints. Rattler, big key here. Rattler did not have any turnovers last week. If he does not have a turnover again, I like this pick a lot to be my upset. If he goes out there and has 2 picks, it's probably not going to happen. If he can play clean, he does not have to play good. He does not have to play great. If he can play clean, that's my biggest key here for the New Orleans Saints. No turnovers. They can do it. They can beat the 49ers, and I think they will. Give me the Saints at home to beat the 49ers and get their first win of the season. Buffalo going into the Jets 1-0 Bills. Crazy Sunday Night Football win against the Ravens. Going into the 0-1 Jets. Crazy game against the Steelers they had. Some people were thinking, you know what? Huge game Sunday night. Bills got not lucky. Obviously, Allen played phenomenal, but Bills maybe are a little tired from that game. Maybe a little in over their heads and thinking how well they are and how good they are. Barely squeaked it out, come back, win against the Ravens. That's not what I'm thinking here. Give me the Bills big. I really do think that some people think the Jets have like almost offensive momentum, and maybe the Bills are a little tired from that Sunday Night Football game. That was exhausting and insane and full of action-packed moments. Maybe the game of the year, right? I think the Bills just just take care of business and handle the Jets here. There's really not much else to it. I get it. The Jets offense played really well against the Steelers. I do not think that's a week in, week out thing. I do not see that being a consistent thing here with the New York Jets, a consistent offense. I do not see that. Give me the Bills to go into the New York Jets and just take care of business. I'm not worried about this game for the Bills. Not here. Not worried about it. Bills, big, big, big. I got the Bills winning big here. Josh Allen. The MVP, early MVP campaign continues. He could win it back-to-back. Let's see. I think week 2 he plays well. Give me the Bills here. Now let's dive into the 0-1 Seahawks traveling to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are also 1-0. My winner for this game, this is a good game, ladies and gentlemen. This is a really good game. And I've got a big bet on this game as well that we'll get into in my Swank Spanks down the show. Give me the Steelers here in an ugly, ugly game. I understand their offense was on fire last year. They lit the world up. Aaron Rodgers showed the world what he can still do. He's married. Maybe he's also married to the game this season. Purely because I don't believe in Sam Darnold yet is why I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers along with home field advantage. I think the Steelers defense is going to have a bit of a wake-up call. They got embarrassed last week. Justin Fields, Garrett Wilson had a very strong games against them, and they got kind of tossed around. That's not the Steelers' identity I know. Not the Steelers' defense I know. I think it's a bit of a wake-up call. I think this game is damn ugly. I think it's low scoring. I like the under here. Warren, pure RB1. Johnson did not get many reps. I believe it was Gainwell. Gainwell's on that team. I got some reps. Metcalf revenge game. Big storyline here. DK Metcalf, first game against his former Seattle Seahawks team in Pittsburgh. Seahawks will keep this game close. I think they could be very close. And I expect some turnovers, some miscues, some ugliness. Give me a low-scoring Steelers win. A grimy, when you think of the AFC North, you think of a grimy, not necessarily sloppy, but a grimy AFC North win. And the Steelers are going to fit that mold here. I don't believe in Sam Darnold yet. I think they keep it close. I like JSN, Charbonnet, Walker. They got some explosive pieces. Give me the Steelers here at home to get the dub in a low-scoring dogfight. Seahawks move to 0-2. Steelers go to 2-0. That's my pick there. Browns at Ravens. I'm going to keep this one 15 seconds and go with the Cleveland psych. Psych. Ravens, big. There's not much else to it here. Could be a blowout. We all know the AFC North, though, how it goes. You never know with the AFC North. It's always nuts. Ravens bounce back huge here. I believe they're 11-point favorites in their own building. This game's over by halftime. Give me the Ravens here big. That's all I've got for that one. The 1-0 Broncos traveling to the 1-0 Indianapolis Colts. Been seeing a lot of good vibes around the Colts with their new owner. You know, sadly, Irsay passed away, RIP. And now they got the new owner. I've been seeing some good vibes come from the Colts. Daniel Jones playing well. Good vibes after week 1 from the Indianapolis Colts. Broncos, not so much. Barely pulling out a win against Tennessee Titans. Broncos are favored here on the road. I'm very, very high on the Broncos this year. Like, absurdly high. Like, AFC Championship potential high. Give me Indianapolis. And I'm saying this is an upset because it is. The Broncos are favored. Colts get the upset here, even though I'm huge on the Broncos. Colts have that momentum, like I mentioned. I'm a little worried about Bo Nix going into this game on the road based off how he played last week. 3 turnovers by Bo Nix last week makes me a little concerned. Colts have a solid defense. I still love the Broncos a lot this year. I just need to see Bo Nix get a bit more settled and a little bit more comfortable. That's all. That's it. And that could be this game for Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. Evan Ingram's a little dinged up. We'll see if he plays. I'm just liking the vibes around the Colts. I think they get it done at home against a very, very good and strong Broncos team. Close game, though. Sean Payton's a mastermind. I think this game is very low scoring overall. Maybe the Broncos offense bounces back, but if they do, I don't expect the Colts offense to perform like they did last week. Lower scoring game here. Give me the Colts, though, to get it done over the Broncos and a big, big win for them. big AFC matchup. That'd be a huge win for the Indianapolis Colts. Let's shifting gears to the Panthers at Cardinals. 0-1 Panthers traveling to the 1-0 Arizona Cardinals. Give me the Cardinals here. This is one I'm not also going to overthink, even though I do think this is a very competitive game. Panthers, I think they look better here. Last week, they could not have played much worse. Bryce Young did not look good. Defense looked lackluster and sluggish. Offense had no rhythm. Tet had a decent first game of his career. Jatavion Sanders didn't do much. Chuba Hubbard, I think, found the end zone. Didn't do much. And I need to see more out of the Carolina Panthers. I think we see that this week. I really think we do. I think this is a very, very close game. I'm still going to take the Cardinals here. Cardinals at home to squeak it out. Talked about how last week the Cardinals need to close games. And I think they do that this week in a very, very close one. James Conner's going to have a solid game here. Nothing crazy, no big storylines. Can the Panthers bounce back and be showing that potential that we saw in training camp in the offseason and through the last 6 games of last season, especially when it comes to Bryce Young? I think we see some better flashes from them. I think we see a little bit more consistency from them. That being said, give me the Cardinals to move to 2-0. Give me the Panthers to fall. It is now time to move into the game of the week. The 1-0 reigning Super Bowl champ Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Arrowhead Stadium to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. 3:30 game, I believe, here. What a game this is going to be. The Chiefs losing to the Chargers last week. The Eagles squeaking one out against the Cowboys. Both these teams did not have their best stuff last week. And in a Super Bowl rematch we got here in week 2, it doesn't get much better than this. Both these teams still have a lot to prove. And in my mind, they're both still top 5 teams. And it's weird saying they both have a lot to prove. But they do. In week 1, they both did not play up to their potential, in my eyes. Eagles defense especially proved to be much weaker than I anticipated. I understand Jalen Carter was a bonehead, spat on Dak Prescott, and got ejected. That was a big part as to why the Eagles defense did not play great. I get that. Yet, a little worried. It's something to keep an eye on here. I have not said my winner yet because I want to get through this whole game breakdown and then give it to you. Andy Reid at Arrowhead, though, is elite. Elite. You mix in a little bit of a worrisome Eagles defense, and I understand Jalen Carter's back. I get that. Andy Reid. Do you know Andy Reid's record? He joined the Chiefs in 2013 for the 2013 season. Do you know his record in the regular season at home? All time. At Arrowhead, regular season, Andy Reid. What is his record? He is 74-24 in his career at Arrowhead in the regular season. The man rarely loses Arrowhead in the regular season. The Chiefs rarely lose at Arrowhead in the regular season. I think that statement remains true here. Give me the Chiefs to defeat and knock off the reigning champs in the Philadelphia Eagles in a really, really great game. Arrowhead is one of those environments that you just cannot deny and you cannot ignore. It gives so much more of an advantage to the Chiefs. Yes, home field advantage is always an advantage. Swank, what are you talking about? Playing in Arrowhead, the Chiefs and Arrowhead, is different than the Texans at NRG. It's different than even Denver at Mile High. It's even different than Chicago at Soldier Field. It is one of the best home environments in football. The Chiefs rarely lose there. Mahomes thrives there. Even with injuries at wide receiver, don't think Xavier Worthy is going to suit up. And obviously, Rashee Rice is still suspended. I think the Chiefs get it done here. I think you see a little bit of superhero Mahomes. I think you see a great, great game. Pretty high scoring. Give me the Chiefs here to knock off the Eagles and get back in the win column and move to 500 in a really great Super Bowl rematch. Give me Kansas City in this one. Moving to the Sunday Night Football game, the 0-1 Falcons traveling to the 1-0 Minnesota Vikings. Great Sunday Night Football game here. Great, great game. Kirk back in Minnesota, even though he's not the starter, he's the backup, which is okay. But let's see. I'm sure they're going to give a nice little round of applause to Kirk. At least they should. Give me the Vikings here. Plain and simple. The swagger. The defense in the fourth quarter looked great. Home field advantage. Skull Vikings. Sunday Night Football. I feel like Minnesota's not really a well-performing primetime team. I like them here. And this is going to be a really good game. I think this game remains close. There's been a few games I predicted to not be close whatsoever. The Rams being one of them. The Cowboys to really be one of them. A few more mixed in there. There's been a few I think are going to be really, really tight. Bills is also going to be a blowout, in my opinion. I think this game remains very, very tight. Give me the Vikings just barely. I think they've got the swagger. They've got the momentum. I think Penix and Bijan play well. And I think they do have a chance to win this game. For sure. Give me Minnesota at home, though. Close win. Great game. We'll see if McCarthy's still got that swagger. Wrapping this thing up with the 2 Monday Night Football games. The 1-0 Buccaneers traveling to my Houston Texans, who are 0-1. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you are curious, I will be at this game in Houston. Me and the bro, we're going. And I'll be there Monday night cheering loud as hell. Even though it was a rocky start to the season, you got to show your fandom. And I love my boys. And I'll be there Monday Night Football. Very, very excited. Going to have some great content. Be on the lookout for that. Excited to see Baker Mayfield and Emeka Ibuka and some other big-time pieces over there, the Buccaneers, coming to Houston Texans building and see what they can do. Going to be a really, really great game. Monday Night Football, the early game. I think this game goes exactly like the Sunday Night Football Week 2 game, ironically, Bears versus Texans last year. It was so ugly. It was ugly. I think this game remains kind of ugly as well. Defensive game, relatively scrappy. I think whatever defense can force more turnovers here is going to win this game. That's the vibe I'm getting here. Again, both these offenses, especially the Bucs. Let's be real, the Texans offense was not week 1 whatsoever. But the Bucs offense is explosive. They make big-time plays in big-time moments. This game to me is going to be sloppy and scrappy. Scrappy is a better word here. And more defensive focused. And a few turnovers here and there. And who wins the turnover battle? I think is really going to win this game. It reminds me a lot, like I mentioned, of Texans-Bears last year. Sunday Night Football Week 2. I believe it was like 19-16. Can absolutely see that happening here again. 19-16, something like that. Nico Collins should be getting minimum 10 to 12 targets this game. He needs to get more involved, 1 billion%. If the Texans want to win this game, hard home opener here in Houston, I think they squeak it out. They squeak it out to give fans the hope they need. It's not going to be pretty. And it's not going to give the fans hope in terms of, wow, the offensive production looks great. Whoop-de-doo, it's kumbaya, everything's saved. No. I do think the Texans squeak it out, though. In a very close and a very scrappy game. Monday Night Football in Houston. Give me the Texans. Last game of the slate, the 1-0 Chargers at the 1-0 Raiders. Very sneaky, great game. Brock Bowers being available is a game changer here. If he goes, could have a big factor on the money line here and who I'm picking. If he doesn't go, I think it could be the Chargers. I'll just flat out come out and say it. I've got the Raiders. I know. You thought I was going Chargers. We all know you did. I'm not going Chargers. I'm going Raiders. Give me Geno Smith. Give me Pete Carroll at home on Monday Night Football. Man, I know I might be second-guessing myself. Here. Screw it. Live on the show, we're doing it. I'm going with the Chargers. Look at that flip. I know. That's how unconfident I am in this game alone. All the others, I really like my picks. This game is 50-50, coin flip for me. Vegas is going to be rocking. New environment over there, and I think this team is very competitive. I don't see them winning a ton of games. I think they're competitive. Yet, the Chargers, I think, squeak this out because the Raiders' defense I'm not a believer in whatsoever. And give me a close game. Give me one I think the Raiders should win. It could go down like that. I think the Chargers pull this out just barely. Herbert needs to play solid. Bowers needs to play for the Raiders to have a full-time shot at this. I think he does play, and I think he gives them a full-time shot. I think the Raiders play well enough to win. I think the Chargers squeak this out, and they get it done. Give me the Chargers to move to 2-0. The Raiders to fall to 1-1. And that, ladies and gentlemen, are my Week 2 picks, predictions, and analysis for each and every game. let's see how it goes. Week 2 is finally here. It's exciting. Maybe we go 16-0. Who says no? We'll see. We'll see if we can go better than 10-6. Speaking of doing better, let's get into Swank's Banks to wrap up the show. Last week, I went 0 for 6 on my bets. And if you listen to the Monday episode, all I'm asking for is 1 week preseason. If the NFL players get 3 weeks, I want 1 week as a better. Come on now. That being said, I'm still counting it towards the record as it should. I went 0 6. I already took ownership for it. Make fun of me all you want. Go listen to Monday's episode. I'll leave the show with it. We've already talked about that. It's now in the rearview mirror. The money is gone. Whatever. It's a new week. It's a new time. It's a new week to place bets. What a great weekend we have in store for week 2. I got 6 best plays for you again. Number 1, Cowboys money line, minus 265 on my site. Take it. Don't overthink it. Cowboys money line, number 1. Rams money line, number 2. Don't overthink this as well. Minus 250. I'm not trying to get fancy here this week. I'm taking the wins where I can get them. If I think this team's going to win, I'm going to take it. Rams money line, minus 250 against Tennessee. I think those are back-to-back. I'm very confident in those. 3, Patriots money line, only minus 104. Love this bet. It's got great value. The line says minus 104, but the Dolphins are favored in this game overall. Give me New England going into Miami. Great value here if you're looking for a straight money line. Give me the Patriots as number 3. Number 4, the least biggest odds, if I'm even saying that correctly, smallest odds, Bills money line minus 315. They're going to get it done against the New York Jets. I'm not worried about it. Just take it. To me, those 4 are no-brainers. Cowboys, Rams, Patriots, Bills, all money lines. I'm confident in those. Take those. If you're trailing me, come on aboard. We're going to do better than last week. I can guarantee that. Bills money line minus 315. These last 2 are the ones that could be a little bit more dicey, but I like them a lot. Number 5 of 6 on Swank's Banks. Broncos versus Colts under 43. That's minus 110. My book's got 43 straight up. Bo Nix in that offense might find a little bit more rhythm this week. If they do, I don't think Daniel Jones and the Colts have that same rhythm they had last week. I like this game to go under 43. This could be a game that is around the 20s, right? 20-17, 21-17, 21-20. It's exactly where I see this game going. I like the under here. Broncos versus Colts. Lastly, my Swank Tank, my favorite bet of the week, my lock. We're 0-1 on Swank's Tank so far. We're going to move that to 1-1 this week. Seahawks versus Steelers under 40 points. That's minus 110. I know that number's low. This is going to be so ugly. So ugly. Aaron Rodgers, I don't think that offense plays as nearly as well as it did last week. Sam Darnold on the road. TJ Watt, bounce back defensive game for the Steelers. Give me under 40 points. That's my favorite play of week 2. My Swank Tank. Seahawks for Steelers under 40 points at minus 110. Those are my 6 best bets, my Swank's Banks for week 2. That's going to wrap up the show here, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you tuning in, whether it's Thursday morning you're listening to this, Thursday evening, afternoon, Friday, Saturday, whenever it is. Week 2 is here. I want you to enjoy it. Ride me on those bets if you want to. Come on in on the fun. It's going to be a great weekend of football. Have some really big-time matchups. Can't wait to see how it goes. Appreciate all your support. Go and follow on all the socials. And as always, just have a great weekend. We will see you next week. Hopefully your team gets a dub. And enjoy your week 2 of football. Have a good one.